lower Malta, we've got a little folio or a book or catalogue of pictures by TIEPOLO. So it says on the front of here, there is a folio by Giulio Lorenzetti, the designs of TIEPOLO from the Museum Correr of Venice, 1949. So you have an old book in reasonable condition with a plain spine with a rather grand title with this stamp on the back. And when you go into the book, you start to see rather wonderful drawings which this artist TIEPOLO has done. These are copies, obviously. So they have the title page, the frontispiece if you like, and Venice, Paris, printed in Paris. And you have the table of materials. You have it's a limited edition book. This is number 238. Sorry, 1946. And the preface in French. So it's a French book. No English in it. And then you have a description of the images in some detail, and they're numbered in French, which is fine. And then we go through to the actual images. So the curious thing about this book is each plate, each print, each picture has been stamped by the museum. So what I think's happened is the drawings themselves are not stamped. So they're not copying the drawing which has a stamp, because there's one on the back. So the museum, in licensing the drawings, has decided to stamp the item. I don't know whether it's on the print or it's been done on top of the printed images, but it's not obviously on the original. So here you have a hand, and you'll notice each one is stamped many times to authenticate these sketches, these drawings, these copies of sketches and drawings. And due to the age of the book and the fact it's been stored somewhere perhaps damp, a lot of the colour has come through onto the other side, the opposite side. So there's a shadow much of the book of both sides. And what these drawings are sanguines. They're crayon or coloured chalk or pastel drawings of anatomical studies on the whole. There are some characters, for example this cloaked person, but they're very stylish and they're beautifully done, and the images have a lovely texture, and they're good candidates these are very good candidates for framing, unfortunately, which means the book could be cut up, and because they have these stamps on, it lifts them above many of the other available prints you can get out there. It's quite unusual to see that. I have seen French pictures with the stamp. We've got some where the customs often use this stamp. These aren't custom stamps. These are the Civic Museum of Correr in Venice stamps. So they are from the museum. I think that the combination works quite well. Some of the images aren't suitable necessarily for frame because they're academic, and that's got two images on the same sheet. For example, we've got hands and you've got a standing gentleman. But there are other images. That's another one of these garbled images. But there are other ones which would frame well and would be good standalone studies. So going through them a bit quicker, I'll try and find one which would make a good candidate to be framed individually. That's a good one there. That would stand alone quite well. This one has got heightened whites, chalkiness. Some of the images, pictures, drawings have just sort of charcoal look. Some have reds on and charcoal. So there's a variety of finished. That one is not finished on the left, that one is more finished. These studies are in various stages of composition and various stages of completion. and they show technique. This book was for devotees of how to draw, basically, with a bulldog down the bottom. Quite well done, or very well done. And feet, arms, like the dog on the previous page. This is a person where you're looking at the chin from underneath. That's not a common aspect for a study. And it's voluminous. It goes on and on and on, this book. There's some flowers there. Praying hands. Some have been bound upside down. I don't know why they're bound upside down. Rather strange that they are. It might be that they assumed the book would be handled from the front and the back, in which case they've turned it over, but no, they're not all the same way, they're mixed up. So the sanguines are charcoals. They look like real sanguines, but they don't have the look of a print. It's very curious, because the paper's faded and yellowed on the edges. They have an effect of looking like really old bits of paper. So we will sell this book as an intact book. If we can't sell it, we will chop it up and we will sell each piece framed. And we will show the museum stamps as proof that they're quite important little reproductions. So I'm really flicking through now because we're running out of time. Wonderful drawings, so skillful, done quite quickly, fairly spontaneous, and they certainly have that Italian old master look about them. Accomplished and finely done, as you'd expect. So the book is at Malta for sale. If anyone is interested in this particular artist and wants to buy this record of his sketches, there's a glass there, which is rather nicely done as well. So this sanguine is a sort of a discipline, and you can also have white on a red card or red paper in reverse. Not only necessarily the use of red crayon. Sanguine being derived from the Roman word sanguine, which means blood. That's why they're called sanguines. Thank you for having a look.